All right, what's up, guys? So this is so we're back here, and this is going to be my rant on season 5 of The Boys. Yeah, I'm honestly at a loss for words of how horrible this is. This time, I'm actually structuring my complaints just so I'm not that mad. But like, this was fucking terrible, dude. Like, I'm actually going to be mad if at least some of the people involved with writing and directing this, do not get blacklisted. Like, I think some people genuinely should have to lose their careers over this. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, this was genuinely that fucking bad for me. But anyways, so how we're going to structure this is we're going to go over just complaints based on by characters. Sorry, just general complaints, complaints by individual characters, and then complaints about like how they handled the ending. And this isn't going to be episodic. Just like we're not going to talk about stuff that like only happened in one episode, because like we'd be here all day, and I don't want this to be an episode review. I want this to be a season review, and I just want this to be stuff that was like a general issue, throughout the entire season, more or less. So if there's something that like bad that happened, and you guys are like, oh, why didn't you talk about that? It's probably because it was just like a bad scene in one episode versus like an overall problem with the season. Um, so yeah, I'm probably going to be splitting this into chapters because this is going to be a pretty long video. But yeah. So in general, first off, there's way too many sex jokes and swear words in the show, and I know the boys always had that, and that is fair that they always had that. But there is a time and a place, my guy. So basically, like you wouldn't like if you were at your best friend's funeral. Oh yeah, I'm gonna spoil the hell out of this the season. So if you haven't seen the season, don't watch this video. But I wouldn't recommend seeing it. I gotta be honest. Anyways, but yeah, if you were at your best friend's funeral and the guy speaking started talking about assholes and I saw everyone at the funeral as asshole, um, you would kill that person on the spot, and then when you told the cops what you did, the cops would like help you like avoid jail time for what you did. And dare I say, I didn't find one of these jokes even remotely funny. Like I didn't even crack a smile at any of them. Like they were like none of them were even close to being almost funny. Like I genuinely had a straight face throughout every single one of those moments. If not, I was even actually mad at those because I was at like a grossly inappropriate thematic timing to have that. Like again at Frenchie's funeral, like they literally talk about like they literally don't fucking like they literally just have they literally just go like oh he's talking about assholes for no fucking reason. That's not even part of his character. Like I could be mistaken. There could be like an episode of him forgetting about, but like that's not even part of his fucking character. Why is that in his eulogy? Like, but like, anyways, I feel like I'm complaining a little bit too much about one episode, but like, anyways. So the second problem, just general. This is actually general about the whole series, but like it's really apparent in season 5 of like how bloated the cast is, and that is this show is way too afraid to kill anybody. Like they either only kill they only kill off minor characters that like should have already or characters that should have already died seasons ago, and sometimes both, honestly. Like they thought in episode 7 that like Shalene and Dognot would be like, oh shit, they killed those guys. I can't believe they killed those guys' deaths. When I had to Google Shalene's fucking name before making this video, like, like that was episode 7, and those are the most major deaths in the season. Sorry, in the episode, and they were acting like those are like big kills. Like I dead ass when I'm saying this, not even trying to be funny. Family Guy like kills off major characters more often and with more of an emotional impact than The Boys does. Like Brian's funeral from Family Guy was more serious and had more emotional weight than Frenchie's. Like how fucking sad is that? That like a show that it takes literally nothing seriously, and like there's literally no rules, and like you could literally do whatever you want in an episode if you feel like it. Um, handle the character's death that they didn't even intend to kill permanently. Like they intended to like parody major character's death. They brought him back 2 episodes later. Like how does it like how embarrassing is like how honestly embarrassing is that that Family Guy handled Brian's funeral better and of more emotional weight than an acclaimed character drama handled the funeral of one of the main good guys. Like how fucking like how fucking shameful is that? And and next up, there's just way too much filler. Like to have filler at all in a 5 episode season is honestly pretty sad. Like they couldn't, because that's like no episodes that really like most shows. Like I know it's kind of like a recent thing that shows have like 8 episodes, but like a season. But like back in the day, shows used to have like 20 episode seasons, and they had less filler like percentage wise than the freaking boys had in 8. No, if not less filler episode wise than the boys had in 8. Like Breaking Bad, for example. Like anyways, but the fact that it's a final season and there's enough filler that I genuinely think that like you could remove entire episodes and the plot would not change at all. Like if you removed all of episode 5 and the first 45 minutes of episode 7, which is the penultimate episode, by the way, the plot to get to episode 8 would be the exact fucking same. Nothing would change. Like you would have the exact same understanding as someone who would actually watch those episodes if you just decided to skip episode 5 or just go to the last like 5 minutes of episode 7. That is how much filler there is. In like, and I think some of the individual episodes have filler in them too, but like the fact that there's 2 episodes that we could consider filler episodes in a completely original property. Like I know it's based off of comics, but it's like a different plot and everything. So on a completely original property that doesn't have to like like wait for someone else to tell a story or anything, and only has 8 episodes to tell said story. The fact that there's 2 episodes we could consider filler completely, again, just fucking embarrassing. Like I'm not even trying to be rude when they say that, but like they should genuinely feel fucking embarrassed that they needed 2 episodes worth of filler because they couldn't fill 8 episodes worth of shit in the final fucking season of the show. And kind of tied to the last point, the pacing is atrocious. Like it is atrocious. It's either way too slow or way too fast. I think this problem is especially prevalent in the finale because it's kind of the culmination of all the other bad pacing throughout the season, but it's a problem throughout the whole season. And I'm just going to show you a meme, talking about the pacing in the finale. And I want you to keep in mind when you're watching that meme that the final episode's pacing is only slightly better than that. Like it.
Everybody's fly, DJ spinning, I said my. Flash is fast, flash is cool. Francois are flashing your dude and you don't stop. Sure shot, go out to the parking lot and you get in your car and you drive real far and you drive all night. And
slightly better than that. Like it. Okay, next up, the complaint is that there's just not enough major fights this season at all. Like a lot of people are like, oh, we want Homelander to destroy stuff. We want Homelander to destroy stuff. Me, I don't even want it to be Homelander. I just want it to be fucking someone. Like the only major fights we got in the whole season are the prison camp escape scene in episode 1, where like A-Train dies. Soldier Boy versus Bomb Sight in episode 6, and Homelander versus Butcher in episode 8. Those are the 3 major fights we get. Everything else we get is either really one-sided or like doesn't really use like superpowers or anything. Like even the Deep versus Starlight in episode 8, even that really wasn't a fight, and that's a fight a lot of people have been waiting for since literally the first episode. Me personally, I'm not in that camp for reasons I'll explain later, but still a lot of people have been waiting for that fight like literally 7 years, and it was nothing. Like there just like wasn't anywhere near enough action going on. And even with the final fight, a lot of people had complaints of it. Like a lot of like I don't know if it was like the best final fight, but like I do think it counts as a fight, which is why I brought in that example before people in the comments kind of complained. But yeah, a lot of people didn't even like how that went. I'm not really want to go over it because I thought it was all right, honestly, but I digress. That really says something that there's only like 3 major fights in that season, and one of them is like divisive. So, yeah. The power scaling is also extremely bad, and I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, only nerds care about power scaling. Power scaling isn't as important as telling a good story. And while that is kind of true, it also gets to a point where like you got to suspend your suspension of disbelief very high, And I think it'd be easier if I actually divided that example into when I talk about characters, so you kind of get what I'm talking about. So we're just going to move on to the next point, and then hopefully you guys kind of see what I'm talking about when I talk about the characters where I think the power scaling applies to. And final point is we simply do not see enough of the outside world anymore. Like even though Homelander controls America, like we're basically told that and not shown that. The only time we really see the perspective of like civilians, like people who aren't superheroes or aren't part of the boys, is when Starlight visits her dad. That's really the only 10 minutes we get of the outside world. And that's a complete contrast to what we used to get in season 1, season 2, season 3. We used to see the outside world all the time. Like um, there used to be conventions. There used to be there used to be like rallies. Um, there used to be like interviewing people, like stuff like that. Really, um, and we just don't really see any of that anymore. Really, like we have no idea what the average person thinks about what's going on, because they just don't show that anymore. Now that we got like the general complaints that I think is wrong with the season, is we're just going to talk about the characters. So the first character I want to bring up is Hughie. Hughie is just pissing me off, honestly. Like I don't even have notes for Hughie. He's just a black bulletin boy because he just pisses me off so much that like it'd be easier for me to just talk about him than to actually write down reasons why. First off, like the guy really has no purpose this season, even though he's the main character. Like a lot of people think Homelander is the main character. A lot of people think Butcher's the main character. No, Hughie is the main character. Hughie is the protagonist, and yet he honestly doesn't even feel like there's a reason to be there, other than denying what Butcher says. Sorry, and pretty much everyone else is okay with what Butcher's doing anyway. So it's not even like it's literally just him and Frenchie that are not okay with them releasing the soup virus. Everyone else is like entirely on board for them to do that, and it's like understandable like Huey want to do it, but like I just want to point out like he's the only one who didn't want to, and he's so in a way it's his attitude that kind of got Homelander to V1, and even when he gets to V1, he's still trying to fucking moral high horse everyone, and that just really pisses me off. Like before he gets to V1, okay, he could act like that, if he wants to, but after he gets to V1, he's still acting like, oh, we gotta be the most moral way when there's literally no other options at that point. And he's arguably partially responsible for that. So that kind of pisses me off. And again, he's the protagonist, and it genuinely is up for debate why he's even there. Like he doesn't really provide them with any skills this episode. Like in the earlier seasons, like he was like the IT guy. Like he was actually pretty helpful. He got him out with some good ideas to help them out. Like with translucent, he was the one who actually found out how to take out translucent. So in the earlier seasons, it's obvious why he's there. But in this season, it's like, why is he even there? And again, this is the fucking protagonist of the show, and we're asking that. So, all right, next up, we got the Big H. We got Big H. We got Homelander. Now, I'm just going to say it. They ruined his character. Like, all the stage presence and intimidation factor and aura he had, all of that is gone. All of it. All of it. He lost all of it. And I'm not even just talking about the finale, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, yeah, the finale. No, the whole fucking season, he lost all of it. Like, the guy is so pathetic that you can't even take him seriously, much less actually be worried and, like, afraid of him, of what he's going to do. Yeah, I just want to add in. I also forgot to mention, for me, it was not only hard for me to take him seriously, but I honestly couldn't even suspend my suspension of disbelief enough that, like, the characters in universe were afraid of him. Like, even knowing that, like, he's basically that universe's Superman and he'd easily kill any of the characters if he wanted to, it still, like, was, like, I still had to, like, remind myself that. Like, my suspension of disbelief was still not pushed high enough for me to buy them being afraid of him, because of how pathetic he acted throughout this season. So like, it's to the point where despite the fact that these guys are side antagonists and Homelander's the main antagonist of the show, both Soldier Boy and the Father have significantly more stage presence and intimidation than him. And it's not even like it's like a little bit more or it's like comparable. No, it's like they are significantly um more threatening than Homelander is. Um, and I gotta say, even when they're getting to V1, Soldier Boy does 90% of the work. Homelander is contained in episode 4. He's almost killed in episode 5. Again, also gotta chime in. Not only is he almost killed in episode 5, but he even before that, he literally just sits in the fucking corner while Soldier Boy talks to the people who supposedly have the V1. He's just looks ridiculously fucking silly. You can't be the main antagonist of the show just sitting in the fucking corner waiting for your dad to finish talking to people. You can't expect me to take this guy fucking seriously. And in episode 6, Soldier Boy is the one who fights Bombsight to get the V1, not Homelander. Um and also in those episodes, O'Father is the one who intimidates Firecracker. O'Father is the one who fights Starlight. O'Father is the one who has all those good speeches that are honestly pretty intimidating. The guy does a pretty good acting job. Um, not Homelander. Both of those antagonists, even though they're supposed to be serving under Homelander, are easily 15, 20 times more intimidating than Homelander is this season. And I also gotta say, even though this is the final season and we've been waiting all show for him to do something really crazy, he doesn't do anything that bad all season. Okay, sure, he's doing some stuff off behind the scenes that's really bad. He's running concentration camps and stuff. That's really bad. But we don't actually see any of that. We don't actually see him do anything. You know? The worst thing we actually see him do on screen is kill other villains. Excluding A-Train, obviously, the most moral person he kills, was trying to negotiate using the Starlighters as slaves so he could fire all his workers and then not have to pay them. That's the most moral person he kills. Excluding A-Train. Yeah, not only does he not do anything that bad, but this is probably the season where he does the least amount of evil on screen anyway. I know we're told that he's doing a lot of these horrible things, but and yeah, I guess technically speaking, yeah, that's horrible. Season 1 Homelander wasn't doing any of the stuff season 5 Homelander's doing, but we don't see that. We see the camp, I guess, but we don't see people I don't know, we just don't see enough of that, we just don't see enough of the consequences of what he's doing. like, so it's really just show not tell kind of. But yeah, and it's kind of, I want to say it's false advertising too, because they said, I forget who said it, but they said he'd do something irredeemably evil, and he didn't even do anything more evil than season 3 Homelander did. Um, I also want to bring up that Black Noir 2, who is a fucking comic relief character, does an objectively worse thing than Homelander has ever done in the entire series. Like, um, he breaks the oil pipeline, which not only causes a lot of environmental damage, but kills 1.7 billion fish. Now, that might not seem as bad as killing people until you realize that in this universe, fish are sentient and sapient creatures that kind of think the way humans do. So that would almost be as bad as killing 1.7 billion people. Um, so yeah, debatably a comic relief character is more threatening than the main antagonist of the show. I also got to say his plan is very, 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 very stupid. Um, he needs to consolidate his power over the U.S. still. He still has Congress. He still has people lobbying against him, and there's still all the other countries he doesn't control. He only has control over the U.S. It's portrayed like he controls the whole world, but he really only has control over the U.S. and he hasn't even consolidated his control over the U.S. yet. He's trying to proclaim himself God when he hasn't even proclaimed himself the fucking emperor yet. Like, um, it's it just comes completely out of nowhere. I know Homelander said some arrogant stuff before, but it just comes out of completely out of nowhere. I can't see season 1 Homelander doing that. I know he's supposed to be more insane in season 1 Homelander, but it's just he's a different character. I also gotta bring up Homelander is way stupider than he was in the first 3 seasons of the show. Hell, the first 3 or 4 seasons of the show, honestly. And it just makes no sense because he's a really cunning villain in the first 3 seasons, And in this season, I don't want to say he's an idiot, but like he's definitely not that in this season. I don't even get why. I forgot to even make that a point, which is why it's kind of just randomly in there. But yeah, I thought I'd bring that up. But it's like, yeah, I feel like with the church plot, they should have ever saved it until after he got to V1. So like to kind of show him losing his mind. Or they just should have just not had it in the show. And finally, we got to talk about the power scaling. Um, like, first off, there is no narrative reason for him to get to V1. He has no power boost. Um, like at least it seems like he does in episode 6 and 7, but he doesn't get any power boost. It saves him from nothing because the virus is never released. He doesn't descend notably more insane after he gets it. Like there's just no reason for him to get it. And that also by extension means that if you took either V1 or the virus and remove them from the plot, nothing would change. You just pick the one you like the least, remove that, and then it doesn't exist. Like, it literally does not matter. Like, and all of these factors combined kind of made it so his death was not satisfying. Let me repeat that. Homelander's death was not satisfying. If you can make a character like, so you take a villain as evil as Homelander and you make his death not satisfying, you're either the best writer in the world or you're the worst writer in the world. And this is probably the latter. So like, yeah, the reason why it's not satisfying is because he doesn't really establish himself enough as a villain this season. Because he doesn't do anything like that horrible on screen. He's not intimidating in any of the other episodes. Um, you know, but yeah. In addition to that, he gives no resistance after he loses his superpowers, which it gets. The point is like he's supposed to be nothing without them, but even then, like he should have done something. He should have done something. They shouldn't have just immediately gotten his ass kicked. Like he should have done something without them. You know what I mean? Because it just anticlimactic if he just instantly gets his shit kicked out of him. And second off, the speech he gives to Butcher is fucking terrible. Like he doesn't give a good speech. He doesn't give an in-character speech. He just starts saying vulgar stuff. He just starts like saying the most vulgar things, trying to beg, and it's like completely out of character for him. Like even if you argue he would beg for mercy, which I don't even think he would, to be honest with you, but even if you argue he would not be saying the stuff that he was saying in the episode. Like he was like in the episode he was saying like vulgar stuff. If it was the Homelander from the first 3 seasons begging, he'd be saying stuff like oh come on, but like what would your life be without me? Like come on, come on, how much fun have we had together? He'd be saying stuff like that. He'd be saying like sadistic stuff like that. He wouldn't be just saying like vulgar stuff for no reason. Well, yeah, his death just was not satisfying at all, because he had no presence this season, and he really doesn't have a good final scene with Butcher. So, all right, next character we got to bring up is Soldier Boy, and yeah, I'm just going to say it, bro was character assassinated. So he is one of the better characters, I will say, but he is unfortunately not the character he was in season 3. First up, he switches sides like 3 times every episode. Now, I don't care if they have him side with Homelander. I don't care if they have him side with Butcher. But please make him make up his fucking mind. Like, he switches sides in he switches sides in episode 4. He switches sides in episode 5. He switches sides in episode 6. And I don't know if he switches sides in episode 7, but, he doesn't stay around after episode 7. Which we'll get into that later. Don't you fucking worry. We'll get into that later. Personally, if it was me, I would actually have Soldier Boy act the exact same in the second episode when he appears in. But in episode 3, when he's talking to Homelander, he just leaves. Like Homelander tried to use him, as far as he knows, to test a virus on. So he's done with Homelander and he's just doing his own thing now. That's what I personally would do. If I was writing the show, but yeah. Second off, okay, he also has no opinion on anything Homelander is doing. He sees he's trying to play himself God and he disapproves of that, but other than that, he doesn't have an opinion on anything. he doesn't have an opinion on the Starlighter camps, even though he fought in World War II for the Allies. So like, even if you argue he would be okay with them, he should be reacting to them. Like he should be reacting to the fact that his son um, is setting up something that he fought against um, in World War II. Like he, even if he would be okay with them, which I honestly don't think he would be. Um, like he would he should at least like have a viewpoint on it. And speaking of World War II, we gotta talk about his very 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 forced relationship with Stormfront, which I'm convinced is, which me along with several others are convinced is only in the show, so they could promote Vault Rising. Which side note, no one's gonna fucking watch because you messed up the season. No one's giving you the benefit of the doubt anymore. No one's giving you any good faith anymore. No one wants to see you succeed anymore, buddy. Like you missed up that opportunity by making this season ass. So good luck with Vault Rising. No one's gonna be watching that. But anyways, yeah, I feel like it was only there, so we could, so like it could promote Vault Rising because Stormfront is in Vault Rising, so they need to just like talk about like they need to just force Soldier Boy to have a relationship with Stormfront, so they could like uh hopefully generate interest for Vault, hopefully for them generate interest for Vault Rising. Yeah, but it's like completely forced because one, Soldier Boy is a fucking World War II veteran. He might have qualms dating a literal Nazi, like Stormfront. Um, and two, Soldier Boy already was dating Crimson Countess in season three. So he already has a love interest. So it's just kind of weird for him to have apparently been with Claire for what is we're told is decades, when he already has a love interest that we see that he was with for probably decades, um, in season three. But yeah, and also his ending was terrible. Like, as soon as he was done promoting Vault Rising, there was no more tensions for Vault Rising. He is taken out by Homelander in 10 seconds, dude. He was taken out on a choke lock in like 10 seconds. Mind you, it would take a regular person at least like a minute 30 to be choked out, and that's like if you like can't breathe very long. like and Soldier Boy doesn't try to fight back. He doesn't try to charge his chest beam. He just goes out in like 10 seconds and is immediately put back in the ice. It's like literally the worst ending they possibly could have given him. They give him. So yeah. All right. All right, next up we got Ryan. Now I don't have any problems with any of Ryan's scenes because I think Ryan was really good this season. The issue is they do not give him enough. They don't even give him close to enough. Like this guy doesn't react to, like, we don't have his opinion or reaction to anything that is going on. Like what does he think about what his father is doing? Like he appears in the third episode again. That's really good, and he appears in the final episode. That's it. We don't get to see him reacting to church stuff. We don't get. I don't think we get to see him reacting to Starlighter Camp stuff. I could be wrong about that. I could be just misremembering. I could have just memory hold it or something. But I don't think we get to see his reaction to that. And also, he doesn't get any reaction. So he doesn't get any interactions with Soldier Boy, which is like ridiculous. Like you got Soldier Boy who doesn't like Homelander, and as in season three, I forgot to mention this earlier, but in season three it was kind of like hinted at that he would redeem himself, or he was considering like, or he was like probably considering, or at the very least, if he wasn't redeeming himself, he hated the person that he was, and like wanted to be a better person. Um, it's he hates Homelander, and that and he wants to be a better person, but he doesn't spend any time with his grandson who hates Homelander and is a good person. Like, I think that's like the biggest missed opportunity of this season. To be honest, I really think Ryan and Soldier Boy should have gone on some scenes together. I don't think Soldier Boy should have been like his new dad or whatever, but like he should have they should have definitely like had a few scenes together. Yeah. All right, next up we got to complain about Starlight. Like the only complaint I have with Starlight is like she's just way too underpowered. Like she's the main superhero on the boys' team, which means she's the main good alignment soup, and she can't beat anybody. Like she struggled to beat Dog Knot in episode 7, and she lost to Ofather, which I can at least kind of forgive that because Ofather's one of the main antagonists. Plus, his ability doesn't have a cooldown, so that could give him the edge over Starlight. But still, like Starlight doesn't beat enough people this season. Like she struggles way too much against like completely fodder characters. And like we're supposed to buy her as like the main. Like she was like, you gotta keep in mind, like she was on the 7. Like she was good enough to make it to the 7, and we're supposed to buy that she's losing to like these complete C-list at best superheroes. Like, yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about when I said the power scaling was an issue. Um, and we're supposed to believe that like she could somehow kill the Deep. Like sorry, she was able to kill the Deep, who was like strong enough to go to the Mariana Trench and like be fine. Um, but like she could barely even fight like Dog Knot. Like I also got to bring up like her relationship with Hughie. Like they don't really go into enough depth of that for us to care about it, unless you care about it from the first 4 seasons. Which to be fair, I mean most people kind of did, but like still, like they're talking about a scene where they might die, and instead of talking about like their feelings or like how Starlight feels about the fact that she might die from the soup virus or she might not get V1, instead of talking any in deep of that, they're just looking at fucking clouds and saying like, that's a dick cloud. They're not really going in depth of her relationship with Hughie at all. Um, like, all right, next character is the Deep, and yes, guys, I'm very sad to report that the Deep has passed away.
No! 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 It's too soon! Why, God? Why?
Now I think Deep was actually the best character this season. Because he's like the hardest to mess up, really. Because ironically, he's the most shallow character. But don't worry, they still messed it up, and I think how they messed it up is the very last episode. I think if Deep wasn't in the finale, I wouldn't have any notes on Deep. I think Deep was as good as always this season. But yeah. So first off, in episode 7, they give him this ending where like there's no more 7, and the ocean hates him, so he's left with like literally nothing. And then he like fails to save someone, so he's like probably soon to be disgraced by the public. Which don't worry, we don't get any update in that in episode 8. Don't worry. Um, and then like so yeah, he's left with like literally nothing. Which for someone like the Deep, who is very addicted to like other people's approval, that is a very, very ironic and horrible fate. And for him, it's likely one that could be considered worse than death. And I was actually surprised that they were able to give him such a like satisfying and good conclusion, given how bad the rest of the episode was. Like the episode was like embarrassingly bad. Like I know I've said it like 4 times in this episode, but like, sorry, I've said it like 4 times in this video, but like, I'm saying that because it's fucking true. Like you gotta keep in mind, there's like 5 writers, how many showrunners, like how many producers, like a showrunner, probably a few Amazon executives even, and not fucking one of them, like read episode 7 script and was like, hey, this is really bad. We need to do better. So yeah, I do think it is kind of embarrassing to be honest with you. But anyways, but yeah, that was like the only thing episode 7 did right is to give Deep like a good ending for his character. And then in episode 8, they decide, no, we can't give any of the characters except my boy A-Train a good ending because in episode 8 they're like, oh, we can't give any of the characters any good endings because they just have this backtrack on that decent ending for Deep, and they just go the most predictable route and have Starlight kill him. Like, which I already went over Starlight this season, and it's like why even bother like writing his downfall in the other episodes if you're just gonna go the most predictable route that like a lot of people predicted from the very first episode for his death. Like, oh my god, bro! Like, they really just wasted the potential of like a potentially great ending, just to go to predictable route, and I don't know. It really disappoints me, honestly. Also, the deep power scaling is really bad too. Like, we're supposed to buy that someone who is strong enough to go to the bottom of the ocean and be fine, could be killed that easily by sea creatures. Like, I'm okay with the sea creatures killing him, honestly, but like, he should have put up a fight. Like, regular people can beat sharks. Like, regular people can beat sharks with ease, and we're supposed to believe the deep has it can't. He also didn't even like swim. Like, he can't even swim, and we know it's not because he's like fake swimming, because he's like been in the water before. So it's like, why the hell, like, like, does he not swim? Um, it's like, it was just like really bad power skill. They just nerfed him completely for the sake of killing him. Um, all right, next complaint is Kimiko, and now my main complaint about her is she needs to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Um, and that's because her writing is has-been hotel level bad. She just says like some very surface level sex, like, "Wow, this is worse than sex. This is better than sex. This is like sex. This is like bad sex." Like, she was way better when she didn't talk because she was like an actual character when she didn't talk. She didn't just make horrible jokes. And our power scaling has got to be one of the worst out of any of the characters this season, which is saying a lot because it's pretty bad for most of them. In the first episode, Homelander slices her in half without even trying with his laser vision. When he gets to V1, however, which should be a power up, um, she's just like slightly phased by the laser. That the cut her in half easily. In this season, she's just like slightly phased by that in the final episode. Okay, next up we got what is probably the worst character of the show, Sage. And my main complaint with Sage is, why is she alive? Why is she in the story? And why is she alive? Um, like, first off, like, she should have probably been killed about midway through the season. I feel like when like she got Soldier Boy to give Homelander V1 indirectly, that's when Butcher shoulda taken her out back. And much less in episode 7, when like she isn't willing to help Frenchie, not even save their life, just save her fucking life. Um, I think that's when they shoulda taken her out back. Just um, but yeah, not only does she like have no point in being in the season, her plan is just ridiculously stupid and comically evil. It's to the point where for like when she was telling it to Ashley, I had to like take it, like I had to like resume the scene because what she was saying was so stupid and so evil that I was genuinely wondering why Ashley would be siding with her over Homelander, which is bad because Ashley is probably one of, if not the character that should have the most reason to fight against Homelander. So that's really bad if you're so evil and so stupid that I'm questioning why the characters like shouldn't be siding with Homelander. Um, and also, um, like I gotta say she's pointless because she's stupider than Stan Egger. She's stupider than the Homelander from the first 3 seasons. She's stupider than Butcher. She's debatably stupider than Frenchie. Actually, no, she is stupider than Frenchie. She's debatably stupider than Hughie. She's not the most intelligent person at all. Like, there's really no reason for her to even really be a character, in my opinion, because I really think everything that she does and she helps Homelander accomplish is something he could, with ease, do on his own in the earlier seasons. Um, and I also got to say, if they're not going to kill Sage, or if they're going to have Sage, I think she should have betrayed Homelander much sooner, because I think her character dynamics with the boys were far better than her character dynamics with the Seven. I think episode 6 was actually her best episode because I think she bounced off the boys far better um, than like any of the Seven. Like, I think she actually like had some decent scenes with the boys. Um, but unfortunately, we only really see it in episode 6. We don't see it in episode 7 or episode 8. Also gonna say, even though she's one of the most evil characters, like she faces no justice for her crimes. Like she's debatably the most evil character in the show. Like above Homelander even, because like even Homelander's not gonna do this shit. Like even Homelander's not gonna kill everybody. Like Sage wants to kill everybody on the entire planet for something she can get done. With every single person on the planet being alive. Um, and she has like no moral quality. Like she's not even like, yeah, it's gonna be sad for that. Like, so yeah, so she's probably the most evil character on the entire show, and she faces no consequences for her evil. But I do gotta say though, the ending where like they're going to the White House and she's just like, no, fuck this bitch, I'm going to Orlando. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, that genuinely made me laugh. So it was almost worth her living. I'm not even gonna lie. That was the funniest thing that happened the whole season. If not the whole series. Like that was just very funny. And I love the way the actors delivered that line too. So yeah, I do gotta give them credit where it's due. That was pretty funny. Um, all right, next up we got Firecracker, and I gotta say before we say anything bad about Firecracker, I gotta give my absolute props to Firecracker's actress, Valerie Curie. She absolutely, it's like she destroyed that role. Like she actually, like I actually think that they wasted her talents. Actually, like after seeing episode 5, I genuinely think that they could have used her a lot better because she's a way better actor than I thought she was. Like she's absolutely carried episode 5. Like episode 5 would be like just a completely irredeemable without her. So I do gotta give her props where it is due. I think she's a very underrated actress. I do hope after The Boys end she starts to get in like more prominent roles because I do think she deserves it. Um, Now the only complaint I have about Firecracker is she's an extremely one note character, which is fine, but they give her development in the same episode they kill her often, which is just stupid because it means none of the development matters. I think they should have at least delayed her death to the start of the next episode. That way we kind of wonder like how that development's going to play out at least. So like even though they still kill her and she still doesn't do anything, we at least wonder like, oh, what is she going to do? But yeah, my complaints about Firecracker are very minor. I just wanted to talk about how they like wasted her character and wasted her actress who like was way better than I thought she was. I'm not even gonna lie. Uh, Finally we got Butcher, mate. We got Butcher. That was not a good impression of Butcher. I'm sorry, but yeah. First off, so Butcher last season like had a character arc where he's becoming more and more evil, where he was gonna like just kill every soup. Um, that development is completely gone. He's just been completely reset. And yeah, so he basically has like none of the depth anymore. And I got dare I say, like he's trying to release the soup virus. I dare I say, Hughie's side, which is complaining, Hughie's side, which is going against it, does not get enough development for us to like side against Butcher because, well, to put it simply, every single superhero we have seen in the show is a terrible person to some degree. Like maybe some of them don't deserve like death, but like every single one we have seen is at least douchebag tier in terms of evilness. With the exception of two, one of which is perfectly okay of dying to kill the what we're told is 10,000 that we have seen that are complete pieces of fucking shit. Um, so yeah, I just want to point that out of the way too. I should have mentioned that with Huey, um, but yeah, but like but that character arc where he wants to kill everyone, even though he does want to release the virus, like it's to mainly kill Homelander. He just doesn't care if it kills anyone else. Um, but yeah, but all that development is gone. It's till the last episode where he has this forced as hell villain arc. Like I'm talking about the last 20 minutes of the episode. He just decides to go to Vought Tower and release the virus, and it's like it sucks too because the scene he was like the scene of him in Vought Tower was like he had so much aura in that scene. It was just such a like it sucks that it was in such a horrible episode and it was such terrible writing to get him there because he had so much aura. I can see what the writers were. I can see what the um people the cast were actually like going for of him in Vought Tower just standing where Homelander like it was really cool actually, but unfortunately, it was just way too forced. Like in the comics, they actually go for a similar route, which, to be honest, I think is the only reason they did it in the show. I feel like if the comics didn't do this, the show wouldn't do this. But in the comics, Butcher has a villain route, but it's actually better in the comics, because Butcher has like 10 issues. He dies like Homelander dies like 10 issues before Butcher does. So he actually gets time to develop as a villain. So even though in both timelines it makes sense for Butcher to become a villain, he really only makes sense in the comics, and it really doesn't feel forced in the comics, because in the show he gets 20 minutes, um and it comes out of completely nowhere, because like he didn't have the development he had in the season 4. Like he was basically the same Butcher with the same Butcher from before, um you know so it just comes completely out of nowhere. And a lot of people are saying like Homelander should have died in episode 6, maybe episode 7. And I completely agree with that if they're going to go with Butcher as a villain, because I think they need to have at least a episode, if not two, going over how to stop him, for it to have any weight on the story or plot at all. And since they didn't do that, it just feels really forced, and just really like it really seems like they just needed a way to kill Butcher, so he doesn't survive the final episode, and they just did it in the most forced way they could have possibly done it. So yeah, it's sad because we know him as a villain has potential, because it actually worked in the comics. And the comics are, mind you, the comics are not very good, so the fact we're even comparing them should tell you a lot. But all right, I do want to bring up the Gen V cast real quick, even though I said Butcher was the last character. Um, and I don't want to talk about the Gen V cast specifically. I just think there was no reason why they needed to be in this season. They didn't wrap up any plot lines from Gen V, which I haven't seen Gen V, so I don't know exactly what they would have been doing, but they didn't do anything with them anyway. So, and they didn't really do anything at all in the season. They were literally just here so people would, I guess, fan service. But yeah, first off, they're introduced out of nowhere for people who haven't seen Gen V. So if you haven't seen Gen V, like these are just complete no-name characters that they say crazy stuff about, like, oh, this girl's stronger than Homelander, or stuff like that. And they don't really, so they don't really introduce them well for the people who've only seen the boys, which is probably a significant amount of people. Um, and even for the people that have seen Gen V, they still wouldn't be happy seeing these characters, because they literally don't do anything. Like they literally just show up and to do nothing. Like they're just told off by Starlight, which is pretty funny, if you consider everything. But and they did it, and then they just don't do anything for the whole show. Like they're literally just there just to be there. All right, now that we've gone over all the characters, we're just gonna go over stuff that is still unresolved after the ending. So first off, we don't know the general public's opinion on Soups. After what Homelander did, like, do they still like them? Um, do they hate them? Are they going to witch hunt them? Are they like mixed opinions on them? We also don't know what they think about a Homelander after all that, although we can assume that it is probably negative. But it would be nice to get people like finding out like what Homelander did, or maybe even what like the Deep did, or like A Train did, or stuff like that. Um, Second off, we don't really get to see the government's reaction to Soups. Like, hey, Homelander killed the president. We don't really get any we don't really get any like reaction to that. Like we know Ashley got impeached, which I am actually surprised that they showed what happened to Ashley, and I'm also surprised they showed what happened to Vought too. Which I do wish we kind of got more what happened to Vought, but at least we know Stan Edgar's in control of Vought, and we do know Ashley did get impeached and has been arrested. So those are two plot points I honestly didn't think they'd go over. So I'm glad they went over them, but yeah, we still don't really know what the government's like whole thoughts and everything is. Like I know they called Hughie like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like the government team, but that's not really enough for me. Like we don't really know what they want, really really think about them still. We don't really know what's gonna happen still. Um, Third off, we don't really get to see enough of MM's family. Like I know we get the scene of Mother's Milk getting married, but like they needed a scene like that was just a flash. Like that was like a montage scene. Like we needed a scene with him actually like talking to his family, maybe even actually proposing. Because like he broke this vicious cycle of dying against Vought. Like his whole family had died fighting Vought, and he's the first one who broke that cycle. So I really think that should have had more weight on the story than it had. Um, and finally, what happened to the remaining soups? Like what are they doing after Vought's after Homelander's actions? Like are they disgraced, or are they just trying to live like nothing happened, or are they just trying to like hide and maybe like not like we don't get any information on that. We have no idea what it's like for them. We don't see any of that. So which is another reason why I think it might be good if Deep survived, because they could probably show that, but I digress. So yeah, man, those are my that was my season 5 rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is probably a very, very long video, and I do apologize for that. I just had a lot of notes to go over. So yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Got Fire Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ Spit and he's in my mind. Flash is fire, Flash is cool, Flash is a bob, and you ain't no do, 'cause you don't stop, you won't stop. Go out to the parking lot, and you get in your car, and you go real far, and you go far, and you see a light. Then you get in a fight, and then you um say goodnight, subscribe to my channel, and that's alright. Uh, watch Vought Rising, 'cause it's what Clara would have wanted. It's Clara would have wanted to get that. And it's me, Soldier Boy.